Welcome to Debbie's Green, where we talk about issues that matter to the state, void of politics, fear of favor. The Deputy Director in charge of IT and elections of the governing National Democratic Congress, Rashid Tanko, has defended the Economic and Organized Crime Office, IOCO's arrest and investigation of the former Executive Secretary of the Inter-Ministerial Coordinating Committee on Decentralization, Dennis Edward Abuaje, known as Miracles. He insisted that anyone who accepts public office must be prepared to account for the use of state resources. In an interview, he said public officials cannot object to investigations into their stewardship after leaving office. According to him, accountability is a fundamental obligation of anyone entrusted with public funds. When you accept to work for the state, know that you are going to expend state resources, and there's a day you will be called to account for it. If you don't want to be investigated, then you don't need to accept to work for the state, he said. Mr. Tanko's comment comes amid criticism from the opposition New Patriotic Party over the arrest of Mr. Abuaje by IOCO. The MPP has maintained that while it does not oppose investigations into alleged wrongdoing, it is concerned about the manner in which Miracles was arrested and detained. However, Mr. Tanko dismissed those concerns, stressing that the allegation under investigation involves substantial public funds. We are talking about 55 million. Is that small money? He asked. These are state funds. These are not personal funds. He challenged the New Patriotic Party to identify any provision of Ghana's law that IOCO had breached in affecting the arrest. They should point out which law has been breached. They should point out which aspects of our laws in Ghana has been breached in its arrest. Are they going to teach IOCO how they should conduct their activities? When they were in office, were they teaching IOCO how to conduct its activities? Mr. Tanko also described the MPP's reaction as selective, arguing that the party had not shown similar concern for other individuals facing legal actions. According to him, accountability must apply equally to all former public officials, regardless of their political affiliation. So this is a top-up of what happened yesterday. A whole brouhaha about the arrest of Miracles Abuaje. We saw the MPP marching to IOCO yesterday to display their grievances and also to know the reason why IOCO picked Miracle Abuaje without bringing out a formal letter to show the reason why he was being arrested. And yesterday we were told that his arrest was linked to financial irregularities of 55 million Ghana cedis. And so this morning, Rashid Tanko is saying that if you don't want to be investigated, please don't have the interest of holding a position, a government position, or don't have the interest of becoming a state official. But then if you have the interest of becoming a state official, you have the interest of vying for a position, then please be ready for accountability, because after your term in office, you will be picked up to account to the people what exactly you use that office for. When the allocation of funds in that office, how well did you use the money? How was the money spent? The losses incurred? What are the measures you put in place to refund those money? Because trust me, if a money is being disbursed into an office, and then at the end of the day, there is a loss that is being incurred, you don't expect the government to pay that money for you. You pay that money. The office is supposed to pay it. Because so long as facts are concerned, if a money is being disbursed to a particular office, the money came in full. The money didn't come in half or in trenches. So if there is a part of the money that went missing, You need to come and account to the people. How come the government said they've disbursed, say, maybe 50 million or maybe 100 million to your office to use for this particular project, to use for A, B, C, D. And at the end of the day, we were being told, or it's evident, that out of the 100 million, it was only 20 million that was being used. This is because they want to promote accountability, 1. And 2, they want to promote transparency. 3, they want to boost the confidence of the ordinary Ghanaian in public officials, state officials, and even state institutions. Maybe you don't know, but let me tell you this. Ghanaians are really fed up when it has to do anything that has to do with state institutions, anything that has to do with public officials, government officials. Ghanaians are fed up. And you see, yesterday when we went out, my ears was all round. Okay, so I overheard a group of people saying, say, all the government we've experienced, they are all the same. If you look at this man, so they were claiming, if you look at this man, he looks so innocent. What shows that he can, he will be mentioned of being involved in such a crime. So they end up concluding that all government officials are the same. And that is what they do when they come to power. Everyone is looking for means and ways to loot from the state. That is what they do. And you see, that is the mindset of the ordinary Ghanaian. And so to clear this off their minds, the right thing needs to be done. The right thing needs to be done. So as a state official or as a government appointee, you don't expect to occupy a position for 4 good years. And after you are done, you just want us to fold our hands and then look at you to go just like that. Meanwhile, there have been cases, or maybe there have been an info circulating that embezzlement has went on somewhere, and state money has been looted and all that. You don't expect us to keep quiet. You would definitely account for it. And you see, Miracle Abuaji said this some time back himself. He said it. So you see, I think this should be at the back of your mind. That is if you have the intention of occupying a position. Now let's look at the basis for arrest when it has to do with Iyoko. Reasonable suspicion that a person is committing, I think I said this yesterday, or is about to commit an economic organized crime under the Iyoko Act 23rd. A court warrant, or in a case of hot pursuit where the offense is committed in their presence. Now, during the arrest, we have something we call the identification. Iyoko officers will first identify themselves and state that they are from Iyoko. So that has to do with they telling you, you cannot come and arrest me, and I don't know who you are coming to arrest me. So there is an identification. So something more or less like introduction. Then from their reason for arrest, they will inform you, the person, of the reason for the arrest, why they want to arrest. And this is where the problem comes in. When Miracle Abuaji was being picked, according to the MPP organizer who linked the info somewhere Sunday, we were told that he was being picked, but the reason for which he was being picked was not stated. It was later in the day, that was yesterday, that we got to know that he was picked up because his arrest was linked to financial irregularities of 55 million Ghana cedis. So this is a constitutional right under Article 14, Clause 2 of the 1992 Constitution. Now, use of force. Only reasonable force can be used, no torture or degrading of treatment. Okay. Then search. The search comes in if it is needed. So they can conduct a search of a person and premises, preferably with a warrant from the court. Then under Article 14, Clause 3, that is immediately after the arrest, what happens? Under Article 14, Clause 3 of the 1992 Constitution and Criminal Procedure Code, right to a lawyer. The person must be told they have a right to a lawyer of their choice. Yes, you have the right to go in for a lawyer. See, even if you caught someone with a knife stabbing a colleague or whoever it is to death, that person still have a right to a lawyer. That is what is being stated in the law. Then aside that, they must be allowed to inform a family member or a friend. Now let's relate this to Miracle Abuaji's case. It was alleged, because that is how I'll put it. It was alleged that the family members of him do not even know where he is. The party do not even know where he is. That was the information we got yesterday before the reason was being stated. Then we also have the time limit. They must be brought before court within 48 hours. Excluding weekends, public holidays, Iyoko cannot detain someone indefinitely. Then we have the bail conditions. So Iyoko can grant a bail at its own station if the offense is bailable. Right. For serious offenses, they present the person to court. So you can equally be granted bail. Now, investigations and detention. Iyoko will investigate, take statements, and gather evidences. If more time is needed beyond 48 hours, Iyoko will have to apply to court for a remand. Then the person has the right to human treatment while in custody. So although the person is in custody or the person is with the Iyoko, they have no right to maltreat the person. Then after after the investigation, Iyoko has 3 options. The release unconditionally if no case is found. That is 1. The grant bail with conditions and continued investigations. That is 2. And then the forward docket to Attorney General for prosecution in the court. So key point to note here is that Iyoko is supposed to act independently. Iyoko arrest based on petitions, audit report, or intelligence, not politics. If you look at Miracles Abuaji's case, per what I saw and per what I read and the info I got, they petitioned Iyoko for his arrest. So it's not as if Iyoko just woke up and then felt like, today we've not arrested anybody, so we need to pick someone. And then the person who came in mind is Miracle Abuaji, so we are going to arrest him. No, it's either a petition, it's either you are involved in a fraud case or any other cases related to crime. So like we discussed earlier, public officials often account after their tenure in office. So this is, I want you to get this right. The procedures Iyoko follow, or the process they need to follow to arrest the person. Iyoko do not just stand up and arrest anybody. They arrest people based on fraud, based on crime, and also based on a petition that is being sent to their office. They act on that. And secondly, if you know you hate accountability, you hate the fact that someone will call you to investigate you on a position that has been handed over to you, just like Rashid Tanko said, please back out. But if not, then be prepared, because you need to account to us what exactly you used our money for. Thank you for making time with me on the Biscuit.